much cord there.
What's this uke you got that looks so cute and blue?
Yeah.
This is the no, that's the Bluke.
Bluke.
It's called a flea. It's flat. It's got a flat butt.
This will also stand up on a
This
table?
I think I brought this one to the first desert bus I came to because I remember plugging it in, sitting on the couch while Ian played kazoo.
Nice.
Played, various sort of PAX core songs.
The somebody had asked earlier when the song that you and I had first played together at like Desert Bus
Yeah.
7 was "I'm Yours" by Jason Mraz, which I'm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What? It was a different world
It was
back
a
then.
long time ago, right?
I can't. So wait, there's video out there of me playing that song.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I asked you if you want to do it, and you're like, I guess I'll do it. You're
Yeah.
asking, and I guess it's something I have to do. And so we had it up, and we did that. And oh god, yeah, there's gifts of you playing.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a different set of hair back then.
I remember the first time I met Molly.
Was it a desert bus or was it at a
No, it was at the moon base. I mean, we might have met at Desert Bus, but I don't think we talked.
Meeting at Desert
Yeah.
Bus.
I remember doing a
typically
crap
stay away
shot.
from performers at Desert Bus for the longest time because I was just like, I'll sit here in the tiny couch
I'll just
corner,
take a week off.
taking
Yeah.
up little space so that other people. Yeah.
Where engineering was situated in Mark III was great though because you could see like up the stairs. I think you kind of had like how a cat picks the spot in the room where they can see all the corners of the room.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the situation. Mark III.
Now I remember Molly came into the moon base with Ben for visit for a thing. I don't remember why anyone was where they were. But we were all at the moon base, and you came in, and you said my name, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this person knows my name, and I know their name, but how did they find out mine?
There's the internet.
I think the first time I spoke to Molly was at McElroy Brothers show here in Seattle, and I'd already met her partner before, so I knew him a little bit. We'd done brunch together a few times with Andrew when he'd come down and stuff. And so it's like, oh, hey, it's Ben. And I gave him a big hug. And then I was like, and I know of you too. And I thought about that moment for weeks because I'm like, why did I say that? I'm such an idiot. Why did I say that?
That's really that would be my next question when somebody, hugs my partner around the waist. Like, does this person know me too? And you answer that question immediately.
I think someone was like trying to introduce us, like, oh, do you know Molly and Ben? And I was like, yeah, I know Ben, hug. And I know of Molly.
Word's gotten out.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a fun asymmetry about meeting people from the internet in person all of a sudden. Of
Yeah.
like, oh, I know your handle and your face. And you have a name too, right?
And I've seen you around Desert Bus and stuff like that. So like your presence was known to me. We just hadn't
We've co-couched.
interacted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd done some like internet meetups with people that I was like role playing with online and stuff, where nobody really knew who I was except for this group of people, and it's always like that. Yeah, I'll totally meet you at the con. Yeah, cool. And you meet them, and you're all like awkwardly like, you are the person that we talked to on the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. Cool. Established.
Yeah. And trying to make a meal plan at a con is already like, trying to fly a kite in a hurricane.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of hard. Like, it just feels like a roulette as to who can show up and who got the text at the right time and like who
Well,
isn't
you get too
just
many
trapped
people
in an Uber.
who show up, and then you all wander around the streets in this big street gang trying to find a restaurant that can handle the people that you have that's already too busy.
And you sweet baby Canadians, like every time there's Vic folk in Seattle, they go to the Ballard neighborhood where Card Kingdom is. And then they just they go like, we can just wander 8 people into any old dinette and get a table, right? And it's like, no, you can't. You can't even get 2 people seated. What are you doing?
And now High Life is closed, so good luck,
know.
Canadians.
Rest in peace.
I just follow the group of other Canadians. I don't know where I'm going, so I follow the flock like the Canadian geese we are, and I end up in weird places that I don't remember where they
chickens.
are. Yeah. I do remember one trip where we showed up before the convention had started. We were there like the night before or whatever, and it was late, and we were trying to find a place to eat. So of course we were like, oh, we'll just wander around until we find a place to eat. And I remember the slow buildup of dread I felt because we kept going down these hills to check the next block, and I was like, after we eat, should we find a place in this 20-block radius we have started, we're gonna have to go back up all these hills because I know that the hotel's in that direction now, and I'm going to die. I was going to die before without the food in my body, but now I will. And
Seattle's cruel
of course,
that way.
everybody else has longer legs than me.
Yep.
And I have that whole like, I better keep up because I better not keep anyone behind.
You don't want to
mentality. Yeah.
No, you don't want to be the last one in the herd because then you get picked off by predators.
Exactly.
It's like,
Yeah.
are you okay back there, Heather? Yes, I'm fine.
In Seattle, I mean,
Stop
any city
talking
with a
to me.
waterfront is cruel that way. Victoria's nice and flat generally.
Yes, super flat.
Honestly,
yeah,
Vancouver's pretty flat too.
Yeah, like, but Seattle and like San Francisco are cruel in that way of like all the good food's kind of around the waterfront, all the ritzy parts of town. And then you gotta schlep up the hill to the convention center or, God forbid, to Capitol Hill, full of, you know, your fish and your crumpets and whatever. I was just like, I wish there was a funicular or a sky train or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Something that ran east-west.
Yeah, my kingdom for a funicular that goes from downtown to Capitol Hill. They're building light rails now, so come on.
So they do technically, if you come south enough, have that streetcar that goes up 4th or up South Jackson to 12th. I
The
think
South
is what
Lake
it is.
Union, the trolley.
Not the South Lake Union one. It's down near Pioneer Square. So it's like South Jackson, and then it goes under the I-5 and makes a turn north around. What's that street? Broadway, I think, and runs up Broadway. But it's not super useful. It's pretty
Yeah.
much just to get to the light rail at Cap Hill.
Sure.
It kind
I
of
didn't know.
connects the light rail at Cap Hill to the train station at ID, which is why I know it.
Yeah.
But not useful. So.
No, especially if I don't know about it. I found out that you can, in Seattle anyways, you can rent a boat that is just entirely a hot tub.
Oh wow.
It's
Wait,
just a hot
hang
tub that
on.
floats on the lake.
So
Yeah.
it's a floatable hot tub.
Yeah.
It's
So
basically a
that's
thing full of water floating on water.
on a thing full of water.
Yeah.
This is disturbing.
I don't know I feel like that. What?
I feel like that shouldn't work, or shouldn't be done.
Yeah, I mean, would it be better to have just a motorized sort of donut that you just kind of link onto and
Yeah.
just sort of putty
Yeah,
you around
I
South
feel
Lake
like
Union?
I feel a little more normal that way.
Yeah.
It would be a lot colder, but like
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't just want to float it, like have like a big wooden ring that's just like everyone just sit and put your arms on the ring. There's the boat and chat. Sit with your arms on the ring and just sit in the cold ocean water, and maybe we'll all die of hypothermia. Like that, I don't think that's really the.
Well, no, I
there's
don't.
room on the door for us. I mean, come on.
Look. If you fall out of the hot tub, you're falling into the ocean and you're gone. At least if I fall out on land, I can be like some weird fish and maybe live.
Yeah. I don't really love going on the ocean in general. There's this point where you hit in the ocean where like Daniel's described it to me before when he did snorkeling on a trip to like in the Gulf of Mexico or something. And he went swimming with a friend out from the beach that we were on. She was a really strong swimmer and he was good enough, and I don't really know how to swim. So he'd gone out with her, and she got to the place where like the land under the water goes away.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
just
yeah.
drops like a cliff into this gaping maw of darkness.
The scary
And-
place.
She wanted to keep going, and he's like, no. And
Yeah, we're done now.
they turned
That's
around
where
and
the
came
riptide
back.
starts.
But like,
Yeah.
just knowing that's out there, I don't want to be above it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like the ocean from a distance. Because it's pretty and
I have
far
a
away.
vote for land, though.
But
I like to
Lighthouses.
look at the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to look at it and go, oh, there it is, beautiful, and then keep driving.
Yeah.
Like, for all the times that I've been on the Joko cruise, it's at night, you can't see the horizon anymore. Like, during the daytime, you're watching the ship is cutting through the sea, and each wave that is bouncing off of the prow could crush a house. You just try not to think about that. But then at night, there's no horizon, so it's black sea reflecting black sky, and it is easier for me to pretend I am on a spaceship than to think about just the churning primordial abyss that is beneath.
because there's nothing in space to eat you.
There's no sharks in space, or
Yeah.
are there? Oh my god.
I haven't seen
Space
any
sharks.
personally, but I haven't been up there much.
The thing about sharks in space is that they've got the helmets on, so they can't bite as well.
Yeah.
And if you flip, if you flip a shark upside down, then they're immobilized, and there's no what's the relative direction in
Yeah,
space. They're
yeah.
constantly upside down.
Molly, why aren't you turning the shark over?
Well, I mean, depends
aren't
on
you
our frame
flipping
of
the
reference.
shark over,
If I
Molly?
get it too close to the surface, then it'll,
I'm saying
then
this
it'll
is a
have a frame
test
of
of your
reference to be right
humanity.
side up.
Are
Yeah.
you an android? Why aren't you flipping that shark over?
Try.
Oh, shark will be fine.
This is
They're smooth as hell.
this is why you're supposed to jump the shark.
Right, of
Yeah.
course.
Happy Days had it right. Yeah.
Yep.